Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Oblivion. So we're back with D&D. It's been a little while, but last time, last time we played D&D, what did we do? I kind of remember. We were still dealing with going into this strange portal place. We had been separated, so Elenius and Caldron were back in town, and everybody else was in this strange room. I think you were all in the dungeon at one point. You were all in the dungeon, and then broke out of the dungeon, saved some other people, and managed to escape this strange, horrible place. And Caldron and Elenius tried to track down who might have been responsible for why they ended up there, got a little bit of information, and kind of where we left was that we decided we really need to get off of this bolge and start pursuing some of these things that we've heard about, start making our way to other places in the world that are very far away, and follow up on the few threads that we have that might connect some of these things we've been dreaming about and seeing and learning about all along. So plans are in the works to escape the bolge, which we're not supposed to do, but we gotta do anyway. I think that's about where we're picking up.
And thus, yeah.
Can we remind me? We had some new companions for the moment, and they were from.
So we have Gorby, the halfling, who said he's from Iron Trees and Feral. We have Drondolfers, a human from Caldern, also in Feral. So those are the two that are still with you. The elvish woman, Tiriana, she left y'all. She split off from y'all into the city. Didn't seem very interested in hanging around with y'all.
But she was somewhat local, as in closer than Feral, right?
I don't know that she divulged. She wasn't very talkative.
You did find out she was from the Theatris.
Okay.
From the islands. So, I mean, I guess that's local compared to Feral.
Yeah.
More local?
Farther than anybody we know has ever traveled, but closer than Feral.
Closer, yep.
And I think our general plan was we needed to go to either Thrintra or Feral, right? Just start asking around for these people.
I think that was kind of our plan. We were like, oh, this continent's real big. Cool. We'll just go there and start asking around.
Do you know? Pretty sure I already asked.
With growing up on the bulges is that we think that that's a normal scale.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I mean, it's a city. Sure. I mean, you can eventually find anybody in a city if you look long enough, right?
Yeah, if we ask enough people.
Had we not landed on if we were going to try for one over the other? Because it's Thrintra and Feral, right?
I think having two NPCs from Feral, I think we had kind of said maybe we'd go that route since they're going to be trying to get back anyways.
Yeah, and we know the name of the person that we're looking for in Feral. Whereas like Thrintra, we just know like I got to go there. For some reason.
Feral's pretty small. We should go. They take like a week.
Yeah, but at least in Feral we have a name. Like we know.
At least we can ask, "Do you know?" rather than like
have you
just
seen
sit
Elodie
there and
Everstrong?
like wait for it to happen.
We think she lives like right around here somewhere.
Yeah, it'll just be a downtime action to find her. Yeah, no problem. It's a week. Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah. So that had concluded on that 14th night since the ship had arrived, and so the sun rises the next morning on the 15th day since the arrival of Malignant and friends in your adventures. So I had written down that Kater was going to go find Agnes first or not first, but was going to return the dagger.
Right.
And then Keldrin, and I guess Kater later on, whenever he can, was going to work on forgeries. And and then Olenius and Stavid. I don't have like a specific plan of action for you during this day, but we can get to that. I will say that I'm actually going to start with Stavid, because Stavid, when you wake up and you get yourself together and you're about to head out to wherever you're going, you notice there's a package left, like on your step door, wherever it is your place is.
Mm-hmm.
There's a package left for you.
Okay. Yeah. Does it say who it's from or any signs of?
You don't see anything written on the. Yeah, there's nothing like written on the outside of it or anything. It's just kind of a. It's not very big. It's pretty thin. And it's bound, wrapped up. It's clearly like parchment of some kind wrapped up.
Yeah, so I was probably packing things up and getting ready for a trip, but I'll take it back in the room and take a look, see what's inside.
All right. And you kind of like undo the binding, and you find there's a note on top that's written in very nice handwriting that says, I hear you were looking into this, is all it says. And if I know how to work Roll20, and I do, trust me, I do, you get this right here. There's something in your journal.
Nice.
So I will let you take a look at that. So while you're pondering over that,
oh wow.
Kater, since I knew you were probably gonna try to go find Agnes.
Yeah.
And so you go to your usual meeting location. And when you arrive there, you are a little surprised she's not there, because usually she always beats you there. But she's not there. And you wait a few minutes and, make yourself inconspicuous, so, as you're used to doing. And as you kind of like just look around, a hand, touches your shoulder, and you see Lanendrill standing there and says, "You're in danger. You must leave now." And he kind of steps back into the shadows, and he turns to walk away.
Take out the dagger. You want this?
And he'll look back at you over his shoulder and says, "You can keep it. She doesn't really want it. She wanted you to find it."
He'll say in Saloon's voice, "Beautiful." Say the name and see if it any triggers part of what he'd come to talk about today.
He doesn't say anything. But he doesn't leave. He just kind of looks at you. But he doesn't say anything.
Thank you. So, tuck the dagger away and check check around, sneak away.
Nope. Yeah.
Back towards the tulip.
So you say thank you. He kind of blends right in back to the shadows and steps away.
You got an extra sharp dagger?
You do have an extra sharp dagger. It's a +1 dagger. You know that much right now. You don't know if it does. You don't know if it does more than that, but right now you know it's a +1 dagger.
Perfect.
It's a little extra sharp.
It opens portals.
I mean, cool. Oh, well, we don't need to do a forgery.
Just go like slash and make us a portal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got through space. It'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it. That's what that dagger does. You have to just throw it on the ground. It's kind of weird.
Good point. Yeah. So while that's happening, and while Stavid is looking at notes, Olenius, you also have a messenger arrives and hands you a note, and it says it essentially is a coded message that you easily understand that says, "Come to the house at some point today."
I was thinking about doing that anyway.
Oh, well, there we go. Look at that.
I'll get myself around and then in a roundabout way get there.
Okay. Are you going like first thing in the morning, or are you waiting like?
Before noon, but
Okay.
not first thing in the morning.
Okay. So then, before you do that, Keldrin, and then Stavit. I mean, I guess maybe since none of these couple things have taken all that long, what are y'all doing the rest of the morning before Elenius heads over to someplace?
If we didn't have a prescribed meeting time, or like if it wasn't real early, yeah.
I mean, that's up for y'all. I mean, if y'all had decided that, then you could have. It's totally up to y'all.
Yeah, I'd just be making preparations and maybe a bit of meditation and just
Okay.
Yeah, just mental preparation as well as physical, and then
Okay.
meeting up when at the prescribed time for stopping.
Okay. Elenius, you do anything in the morning before you go?
Nope.
Okay.
I will ask real quick. I recognize the handwriting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
it's okay. I was making sure.
It looks pretty familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Keldrin, what's your plan of action?
Well, I'm gonna have breakfast first.
Yeah, well, obviously. Yeah. No, I didn't mean first thing.
Yeah.
I clearly know what we're doing.
But after
here, yeah.
breakfast, I'm gonna go find like the nicest paper I can find in town, some envelopes, make sure I have enough ink, so if not I'll get some more ink, and then get some like sealing wax so I can do a nice seal. Things I need to make our forgeries look all official.
Okay. So this is for the group before you go any further with how you're going to do this. So you know that to go from like a bulge to go from like a city to a town, to a burg, it is a circle, but it kind of functions as a gate. As you walk in, your Yetin allows you to, I just think I need to go to Martefort, and you step through and you go to Martefort. So it is kind of one of those things. It's like just connected to Assalians in general. So that's the easy way. So Elenius, you've done this a lot, especially with your, going throughout the bulge. So, I mean, you're just like, I need to get to, this burg. And so you just walk right through. You know that to go to another bulge, you actually use the same circle, but you will need to present that on like where you are now, you'll walk through because they don't actually know where you're going. But when you step through into another bulge, that you'll have to present some kind of documentation that shows why you are here. And again, a lot of this is just coverage to know that like who comes in and out, to make sure that people are, if they're going to stay in the bulge for a long time, then they're providing their Yetin duty. So it doesn't allow people to like skip around and not do what their civic duty requires them to do. So if you pass, like if you go to Goldfly or Drakespear, you're going to have to present some kind of documentation to the people that are there. Then that if you're going to like actually use a teleportation circle to go somewhere that's not in Assalia, you will have to go to Goldfly or Drakespear because they have the two teleportation circles that can connect you to out of the continent. And you know that if you go there, you're going to have to provide some kind of documentation to access those. And you also know that it requires money because you got to pay for the spell components and the use of the spell. And you know it, and you would know it's 50 gold pieces for a teleportation circle to be used. So just, you know, these are things you would, everybody kind of knows general knowledge wise. So there are there's some customs involved to get to where you need to be. So as you're gathering the things you need to make your documents, you know, you're going to have to pass through a couple different custom areas if you'd like to do it safely.
We would like to do it safely. So yeah, making sure I get enough stuff to do one set of documents for here to whichever other one we choose to go to, and then another set to allow us to use the fancy circle.
Okay.
And you know, escort some people back to their homeland because they were wrongfully captured and brought here by some strange magic, and so we've been tasked with seeing them home safely.
Okay.
I think we had talked about that being sort of the idea.
Yeah, that was what what was discussed. Now, there is the added complication that you all feel that you've been told. I mean, you don't feel this, you know this. You've been told not to leave the bulge. So you're not sure how that would, how that's going to go when you get to the teleportation circle to take you to Goldflower Drakespeare. So that's another piece of the puzzle to consider. And these are all things I would say Keldrin would be thinking about as he's going about town picking up this stuff. And I'll say kind of when he gets back with the stuff, Kater is back from his morning ventures, because I know y'all were both talking about how y'all could both assist each other in forging stuff. And if Elenius and Stava at that point want to show up, that's fine. If not, you know, y'all can take this as it is. So if y'all want to discuss how you're doing that, or if you want to do it, let me know. You do know that making these passes and these documents is obviously you have the skill to do it, but you do know it's not the super simplest thing to do, because you know these things are closely monitored. So
I'm gonna get some extra supplies just in case we screw up a few versions.
Okay, all right. Okay.
We'll get it right. We might make a couple mistakes, and we'll have to throw those out and start over. But we'll get there.
Yeah.
Eventually, we'll get a passable copy.
And just so I'm clear, you're doing this for the 4 of you, the 2, and Malignant? The 6
right?
or 7?
Are we?
Yeah.
Man.
Aren't we?
I mean, well, we have to take the other 2 for sure.
Right.
I guess we should probably take Malignant.
What? He's a buck?
Yeah, he
Why
is.
would we not take Malignant? Because he's not a PC.
I mean, he does like it here a lot.
Well, I think he likes being around us, being around you, because you can talk to him. He likes drinking.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's exploring the world and drinking around the world.
Yeah. As long as we don't, I mean,
I guess we could ask him.
I'd feel kind of bad. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can ask him, and if he's expecting that they're going to come back for him and pick him up sometime soon, and he does actually want to go back home, maybe we shouldn't take him away from the place where they know to pick him up. But if he wants to come along, I love hanging out with Malignant.
Yeah.
I'll bring him wherever.
He's a good fighter. And isn't he part of your dream?
He is. He is part of my dream. So keeping an eye on him.
Isn't he a dead part of your dream?
I mean, yes. That has not come to pass yet. So that's the other thing. Like, I don't know if I want to take him to the place where he dies in my dream. Like, I'll feel bad if I'm like, come along. Oh, wait a minute. We're in a weird swamp and you're on a boat. Uh-oh.
You do feel like, I mean, without asking him, you do feel like if you say, do you want to go, he'll say yes. You know, you feel like, I mean, he does seem above anything else like the closest to you, just because you've kept him with you and you've shown him the way and you've helped him learn some things, and you know, you seem like you're a lot of fun too. So I mean, like he seems to enjoy all those things. So like, and he respects the people in your party because he's shown like they seem to handle themselves pretty cool, pretty cool. So yeah, so he. You know, if you're pretty sure if you said, "Hey, Malignant, what do you want to do?" He'd be like, "I'm gonna go with you." You know, so.
And I'll just make sure to like check him and be like, I don't know exactly when we're coming back, or like if we're coming back. We might be gone for a long time, a very long time.
Okay.
I didn't want you to miss your ride back home if, you know, you wanted to make sure you were here for it, but I would love to have you with us wherever we end up.
Well, if we end up, then they'll find us.
Oh, well, yeah, we're trying. I mean, the first trip we will end up. We'll still be up as long as everything goes correctly. The second one, we could be like way down, but we'll be far away from here, wherever we are. Up, down, sideways. Who knows? Oh, wait, I'm not even talking in that accent. Whoops. Maybe I don't have it anymore since I became a high elf.
Oh no!
You switched elf types?
Yeah, I'm a
Your
new.
ears grow?
What? No, I'm
Did
still.
your ears grow overnight?
I'm still a half
He's
elf.
a high half
I
elf.
just favor the high elf side of my lineage.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he's always favored that too. That's never been in question. He's definitely never been a wood elf.
But now I just, yeah, I mean, I don't know. A little more elfy, I guess. But I still look like one of my parents is probably a human.
Anyway, yeah. So Malignant, I mean, obviously, will choose to, go with you if you decide. Like, if you take him, yeah.
All right. I just got to I'm going to make some papers with your names on them, so you'll be really official.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to do all this stuff so they let us through. Hopefully they'll let us through. We might have to pretend to be somebody else. We're really not supposed to leave right now. I don't know if you remember, they told us that back when we landed.
Yeah, and he says some word for like leader that's, doesn't translate very well, but yeah, you're said we can't leave the bolge.
Yeah, or strongly suggested that we shouldn't.
Ooh.
Which may have been short-sighted of them. So we have to take matters into our own hands.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
So we're just gonna play it real cool. We're just gonna act like we're supposed to be there. Maybe with some disguises.
He looks down on himself.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Okay. It looks like all the papers you have, like that you're about to make.
Yeah, piles.
And he just kind of shrugs his shoulders, like, okay. No. So what's your Yeah, so you and Kater kind of meet back up, and like, I'm assuming probably in your room or something.
Yeah.
Probably not just right there in the middle of the flying tulip.
No.
Probably not the
Like, I
place
have
to
a
do it.
desk in there. It's a good spot to do some
Yeah.
secret forgery.
Yeah. What's your plan for this? I can.
So basically, all right, I'm gonna start working on the documents. I'm not gonna put any names on it yet. I'm gonna leave blank spaces in case we decide like we need to come up with some aliases and get some disguises and do it that way. But I'm basically gonna fill out the rest of it, like, what's that dude's name? Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I don't want to use that guy. That seems like trouble. So, I'm trying. Was it Amandi or Grubau that told us not to go anywhere?
So Grubau was the one who,
Don't leave.
right. And it came from orders from, I mean, he was repeating orders, obviously.
Yeah, because he's just head guard, right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't think Grubal. You think Grubal is at the highest point of his ambition in his life.
Just doing his job.
He's doing it. He's riding his job out. Yeah.
But it could have come from like Orvin.
If not Orvin, it's Orvin and like the leaders of the community. Some of who you know personally, some of who are others that you don't. So.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking there's a person I know fairly well who's like has some sway around, so I might just use my old buddy's name.
Who, Orvin?
Is that
the one you're thinking of?
Is that my guy?
Well, that's the guy that you work for.
Is that the guy whose name I made up?
Yeah.
And that, yeah.
But he also was the guy who wasn't super friendly to y'all, and in fact, he was probably the most belligerent of all of them on the docks that day.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. So what I'm trying to think of who I think they'll be least likely to go find and ask if they like question it. Because like we like saying Grubau or even Captain Amandi, it feels like, oh, we'll just get him here and like double check this. So that seems kind of not the right way to do it. So I want some like other noble that they're just not gonna go bother. Either because they have enough authority or they know this person has a reputation for just like, if they've given you orders or permission to do something, like you don't question it.
You should just do it.
Yeah, you should just do it.
Like Hobalath. That's one of the largest houses, but he's also known to be quiet, contemplative, and stoic. Like, we're not going to go ask him because I want to talk to people. He's not going to talk to us. Maybe.
Like that's the one that would probably stand out the most to you. Just keeping in mind, he is a very influential figure, despite some of his personal mannerisms. But he didn't seem belligerent towards you on the docks that day. He just seemed to be kind of watching everything happen, contemplatively, as he does.
His reasons could be his own.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds like the guy. We'll use that guy.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, and basically, like using the same story, like connecting the two sets of documents. So like, we've tasked these citizens with escorting these two prisoners who were, and I'm not gonna like. Well, I guess. So all right. I'm gonna do 3 things. I'm going to do the 2 sets of documents, and I'm going to do a letter. And the letter is going to describe basically like there was an incident where there was some kind of like extraplanar prison that these 2 people were brought to from For All. And in order to see them return home safely, we feel that they need an escort to take them from Cloudforth to Goldfly and through the portal, see them home safely, and then return back here. So I'm going to write a letter kind of explaining the context of like why this is happening, and then do 2 connected sets of documents. One that's like permission to go from Cloudforth to Goldfly to use the portal, and then permission to use the portal and Goldfly to take these 2 people back home to For All and then return.
Okay. So the letter, and then what do you have in? You just having one document with everybody's name on it?
If that is how it would be
But like,
done.
would everybody need their own? Do we know?
Nah, paper.
This is one of those things that like you've never really done before. So you think there'd be a little bit of guesswork in here. Now I would say Kater, it may come to you that if you could somehow obtain someone's pass somewhere, you could actually see kind of what it is you need to include with all the
I was
pieces.
kind of wondering if that needed to happen, and
And that would help improve like Keldrin's forgeries, because Keldrin like this is your idea, and you're like, this is a great idea because you're Keldrin, so of course it's a great idea. But yeah, but also somewhere in your mind you're like, but what if my great forgery is not close to anything that actually exists? And so therefore they're gonna look at this and be like, what the hell is this?
Because I've never actually tried to leave or know anything about leaving the bolge.
So yeah, so you feel like you're you feel like you have a great outline.
Yeah.
But you're worried about the details. If they are checking things closely, it may not pass muster. And at that point you feel like there might be a little bit of luck involved, and you know how that would go. But Kater, Kater was on thinking about that as well.
Yeah, Kater. I feel like
one. Like as you're kind of describing it.
Yeah, I feel like I have a good idea what to put in these. I just don't know exactly what these documents look like normally.
You want one?
If you could find one that we could just look at, and of course we'll return it. I'm not able to do anything. Well, maybe we won't return it.
We'll return it.
Of course, we'll return it. We wouldn't take someone's pass. We just need to.
We wouldn't take someone's pass.
We just need to look at it for a moment, and then they'll never even know it was gone.
He'll head out the door and go drudge up some contacts that might be able to help him with either a grift or a theft.
Okay, yes, I was going to ask your methodology here. So there's always the black market option, which it's not real big here, but you feel like having worked for Agnes now for a little bit of time, and she would never call it that, of course, but you feel like you could probably but that would cost money, which I don't know how much of that. Yeah, but I mean, no matter how you do that, it's going to cost you something somewhere along the way.
Right.
Or yeah, the slightly more skullduggerous route, if you will. Yeah, there's like a thefting idea involved, or even the straight up rough somebody up and take it from method as well. So I mean, there's a lot of different ways, you know, you can because you do feel like getting the information about where it is going to be the easiest part. Like you're gonna talk to a couple people and they'll be like, "Oh, Kater, he's cool. Yeah, go over there around the corner. There's a, you know, go up to the third apartment and there's somebody there." But obviously, obtaining at that point is a little bit more difficult.
Yeah. So then, what I'm probably going to be looking for is some help from some of the other urchins, the streets that I've worked with and helped out, and what have you, through charitable work. Also living on the street. And try to get them to help provide a distraction. So, like, finding the where, but provide a distraction so that I can go sneak in, go find, and go procure a document. And I guess we kind of need one of each document. I don't know if I was assuming like the bolge to bolge is going to be easier to find than the teleport out of a Sally one, or are they? I don't know whether or not that's true.
The bulge to bulge is going to be more of a well, so let me take it back. So the bulge to bulge will be, it's a more common thing to find because there are a lot of people that pass from bulge to bulge, and so they're carrying around their passes with them, if you will, their paperwork or whatever. So, talking to somebody and finding out, oh yeah, Jerry over there, he just came in from Drake Sphere last night. So you might want to hit him up. Like, that's not hard. Or he came, no, sorry, not from Drake Sphere. He came in from yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm confusing my locations. Drake Sphere. Yeah. So yeah. The using the teleportation circle to go elsewhere, yeah, that's going to be quite a bit more difficult to find.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's kind of two different things you are looking for. Yeah, the bulge to bulge is fairly easy to locate. And like it takes you an hour or so to talk to people, and you get like 2 or 3 different people that have been pointed out to you, and you're like just marking targets about, okay, which one is the easiest one to track down. So do you want to just go for that first, or do you want to try to find somebody else?
We need it anyways, and so
okay. So the way I was treating this was sort of like the I can't find it. Was sort of like the downtime action that I've lost.
Crime.
Yeah, crime. That is actually what I was thinking of. Yeah, I mean, because you're committing crime.
Yeah, I'm committing a crime. I might be committing 2.
Yeah. So for that, I was gonna say you need to make like a stealth check to like be sneaky about actually getting close to the person. A sleight of hand check to be able to procure it. And then you would need a perception or investigation. Now, you can do them in any order you want to, because we can reverse how you're doing things. But essentially, the perception or investigation is to be like, I know the layout. I know as soon as I grab this, which way I'm going to check out of here so I don't stumble over anything. I also know exactly where it is in his pocket, so I can, but it doesn't matter really the order you roll them in, because like I said, it's all part of the same action. Yeah, and even if you fail one of them, there's still a chance of success. There'll just be some complications.
Right.
Yeah.
Love complications. And by recruiting urchins to help me, are they able to aid in any of that?
I think they will definitely provide you advantage on your perception and investigation rolls. The sleight of hand is one of those you're gonna have to do by yourself.
Sure.
Actually, I would give you advantage on your stealth roll too, because you know how to work. You know how to move in the city.
Work in the crowd, and
Yeah, and they pointed out somebody like that guy walking over there across the square, the busy square. You know, so they intentionally pointed out a busy target for you to take.
right. So they might be
Yeah.
more distracted.
Yeah.
Right. Well, let's get rolling.
Do you have a little army of street urchins working for you?
They're not an
Is
army.
that what's happening?
He's got some guns.
I mean, urchin's my background.
I just imagine like all these like Dickensian kids being like, right, what can we do for you, sir? We'll help.
I just
Where do you think I get most of my voices from?
picturing the invertebrates crawling around on the.
I'll have to roll dice. Let's see. I have to roll these dice. See how it did. Oh. It didn't add the +5, but it's not gonna matter. So yeah. You feel like this fellow you're following has no idea you're there.
Okay,
Too
great.
busy paying attention to the urchins' song and dance number that they're doing in this dream.
Oh, not like.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, like mops and brooms and stuff, and they're dancing around. Yeah.
All right, so I'll use their continued distraction to perceive, find it / my exit. Oh, that didn't add the +5 either. Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Just wing it on that part.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
okay. So the important part,
Right.
I'll do the sleight of hand. I forget. With inspiration, do you know the roll before you know the outcome? I don't remember.
I think that you do, but I can't remember.
Johnny, what's your call? Inspiration, you got to roll it before you know the outcome.
I think we've always played it. You can just roll it, and then if you don't, the outcome.
Well,
I think you have to roll it before the outcome, right?
unless it's bardic inspiration.
So,
Did I bard inspire him before he went to do this?
apparently not.
I should
All
have.
right.
We also still have some guidance.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is true.
We do have guidance.
You guys, thank you. That was a
Yeah. All right. So 19 on the last one to actually get the document.
to pilfer.
I've got that in my character sheet. There's one use
This is guidance.
from Saloon's guidance.
Oh boy, needed that guidance.
You needed it. Saloon is helping you steal. Good job, Saloon.
Got it. So,
All right, so let's see.
2 out of 3.
You didn't quite like. See,
Didn't knock it out of the park.
but you did succeed on the important one.
You'll get
Okay.
the thing we need.
Let me roll this die. Let's see what we got here. I've never rolled on a complication table before,
It's fun.
or the percentage of it anyway.
I think it's like a 1d6. I think it's like if you're looking at
Oh, actually, I didn't see that. So I will roll. Let me see this first. That's wrong. No, it's not. That's right. Oh, I meant to roll D100, but there we go. It's 49 is what I actually rolled. So that is actually higher. You got a 40% chance of a complication. So, as far as you know, so yeah, you sneak close to him. I got it's in one of these pockets, and you're like kind of glancing around the crowd, and you're like, well, screw it, I'm just gonna go for it. And like you like reach in and you snatch something out of his pocket, and then you immediately like veer off. And as far as you know, he doesn't turn around and say or yell at you. So you
Okay.
think you are successful.
then I slip away.
Okay.
And go double check that I have, like once I get to a nice dark alley,
Mhm.
double check that I have the correct document.
It does appear that you have the correct document.
Right?
Nice.
So, yeah, easy part done. So now we've got to go find the hard document.
Okay. While you are searching around for that, because this takes a little bit of time, it's not immediate. What are Stavid? Are you doing anything else? I mean, because this is
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it's getting to like, I don't know, we're not supposed to be hanging around the town today. I think we're gonna get mugged or whatever. So I'll go meet up with, tell them this and see what's going on. Are we leaving?
the tulip like lunchtime, a little
Keldrin's
after
having
lunchtime, and Keldrin is actually downstairs right now. I don't think his fingers are ink stained quite yet. Yeah, so he's just eating lunch. He's there by himself.
All right.
Oh, Malignant's there too, of course. But yeah,
how are things looking? We gonna be able to get out of here?
I think I have a good idea of the reason why we're leaving. I'm just waiting for Kater to get back with some reference documents that will help make sure that nobody questions anything that we present to them. Although I am wondering if we need to assume another persona in order to leave, since they might be looking out for us.
I mean, don't they look at people pretty closely? Like,
Yeah, and they might not. I mean, they might not know to look out for us. You know, Grubau told us not to leave, but I don't know if he's spread the word to everybody to not let us leave. He might just be expecting us to do what he asked.
yeah, man. Well, can't you just forge a letter from him saying like, I changed my mind. These guys need to get out of here.
Well, we went a little higher up. I think the idea is we'll go a little higher up the food chain than Grubau.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Someone with a little more authority. Who can
I don't know, like
overrule his.
If Malignant's coming too, like that, it'd be pretty hard to disguise. Like, aren't a lot of lizard folk.
Yeah.
Malignant.
Yeah, he was just saying it would be hard to pass you off as someone else.
I'm pretty heavy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
What? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, no, Feligna agrees. It would be too difficult to try and disguise him. So I think as long as we have the backing of, the other person I have in mind, or at least they believe that we do, then we should be able to just pass through without any question. So I think we'll be ready to leave hopefully later this afternoon.
Okay. Sounds like we're gonna need a plan B.
Yes.
Just in case. So maybe Linnaeus and I can think about plan B a little bit.
Row
Yes.
your boat.
And I think the first step of plan B would be to avoid being taken into custody for attempting to forge our way off of the bolge.
Yes. Yeah.
The rest of the steps from there, I'm sure you can figure out.
I mean, if we can just at least get off the bulge, I think that would be big, right? Like
That is a
at
good.
least whoever's coming after us, even if we're still, on a different bulge, that at least gives us some time, right? Getting
Yes.
for all is going to be whatever. Even if that's harder, like we just got to get off the bulge first.
Yes. And hopefully
Bulge.
we'll just be able. Right. Hopefully we'll just be able to. Yes, we're leaving this bulge, going to another. Hopefully we'll be able to just walk on over to Goldfly, and from there onward to For All, and we won't have to worry about it anymore. And we'll just go find Elodie, and everything will be fine.
I hope your forgeries are as good as you seem to think they'll be.
I think they'll pass. I don't think anyone will give us any trouble at all.
All right, I'll be back.
And so while this is going on, Elenius, you head on over to a certain house on a certain street that I named somewhere in this document. Anyway,
We absolutely have it in a text message from
it somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're interested and you're watching, go back and read our text messages. Anyway, so you yeah, so you head over there. When you get over to the house, very nondescript house, you see the woman who knows Delaney. She's out. She's watering plants in her yard, and she as you approach the house, she looks up and sees you and says, "Oh, you're here for tea." And she places the watering can down and she walks up and opens the door and says, "Please come inside."
Thank you.
And she closes the door, and then as she closes the door, the shades immediately or the windows, the shades immediately come down over the windows, and you see Mishram standing there, and he nods to you and points towards the back.
Yeah,
And Delaney, for all his words, seems like she's going to make tea, actually. But yeah, she has
nice.
the kitchen. Yeah, she's making some more in the tea. But yeah, so yeah, but you head back and you see Refon is there, just as the first time you met him in the same place. He says, "I'm. You have my message."
I did. It was well timed.
For what reason?
I felt need to come here. Our time on this bulge is short.
That's. I hope you mean in the sense of you feel like you need to leave.
We do need to leave, but leaving is difficult. We have no money and we have no papers to get to a teleportation circle. We need to get to Farol.
For all.
Yes.
That seems a journey. What are you looking for in For all?
We're looking for... Do I have her name? We had a strange encounter outside the tavern, whereupon we entered Mage's Tower, I think. I was rendered unconscious by a small poisonous creature. It was small?
It
It was underneath that tentacle, so I thought it was small.
was small. I think it was small.
Yeah, it was pretty small, I think.
It wasn't small. It was the smaller side of medium, so it was small.
Okay.
It was small.
It's a small creature. It's very poisonous. We escaped the tower, and we escaped the tower with some people who were held prisoner inside of it. Two of those people need to get back to Farol, so we intend to take them there. And we have a person that we're looking for in Farol once we get there.
And this leads to the end of the Oblivion?
It does. I'm not sure there's a direct path from where we are to the end of the Oblivion, but I do believe that it travels through these people.
Your companions.
My companions and the people that we found and the person that we intend to find. They learned of this person through what was the ritual?
The saloon.
Yeah, commune.
Yeah, they communed with Saloon.
Yes. That
So
your commune with Saloon has been noted in the clergy.
I think that was the beginning of the end of our ability to stay here.
Possibly, but I think that there are different forces at work that has put all of you in danger, and I am glad to hear that you are planning to depart.
Do you have is there a secret teleportation circle or anything in here?
I wish there was.
Do you have a way to get papers?
I'm assuming you mean documentation to head to an outer teleportation circle.
Yes.
I could look into it, but it would take some time.
That isn't something we have. I'm at a loss of what to do, but we need some assistance to get out of here. We need gold to run the teleportation circles.
They do cost a bit. We could spare the gold to at least use it if you could get through them. But you have to know you're going to be marked trying to leave.
Yes.
Every guard in the city is, well, you've become something of a celebrity.
To that end, do you have any ways to disguise us?
It's not really my field.
Nor mine, but it would make travel easier.
It would for you, yes. I'm not sure your Kinku friend would be as easy to disguise.
This is so.
Or your lizard folk friend, if he is traveling with you.
He is traveling with us. My best thought for them were big cloaks.
Very big cloaks. At the very least, I can spot you the golds.
That'll be one fewer thing.
You do know that one of those darknesses is Shar, right?
One of those darknesses is Shar, yes.
Do you know what the other darkness is?
The other darkness could be the vanishing. It could be Talos.
There's a lot of could be's.
There's a lot of things that it could be. The vanishing was part of Shar's darkness, but Shar wasn't alone in this. So the newer darkness seems unknown as yet.
Yes. Well, just know. Again, stands up and he motions for Galen, and Galen goes off to another room. Says, "We will guide you and assist you," but he walks over to another door, not the one you went in. He walks over to another door and he opens it, and you see in this room there are you see there's a room that has several bodies in it, and they all have copper coins over their eyes, and you don't smell anything coming from the room like you would be, but they're clearly dead. It says, and you notice that like the one that's closest to the door is that fellow that you saw when you were in here that was going mad with the vanishing.
Oh,
Or the Oblivion last time you were here. Says, just know we do what we can by the order of the watch, but what you do is, and what you find will be more important than anything we can do. We will try to keep them as long as we can.
Keeping them rather than sending them is more humane. Did they say anything at the end?
Nothing of use. Just blabberings of people going mad. The same as it always is.
Do you know what they said though? Like, what was the phrase that they repeated at the end?
It wasn't repetition. It was nothing that would serve you. I wish it was.
I do too. You summoned me here, and then I came in with news of my own. Why did you summon me?
Because I worry about you. Wanted to make sure you were doing what you could.
We are.
I didn't know if you had discovered that it was the Mistress of Night or not, and I wanted to make sure you knew we all fight for the same cause.
Right.
Even if we have oftentimes been at ends.
I see now why. Yeah, right now our primary concern is to get out of here. But we encountered I don't know if she was an assassin. One of the people that we, prior to going into the Mage's Tower through a portal, there was a ruse outside of the tavern, and the woman that we spoke to, we found out where she lived and spoke to her there. We need to know who Verfield is, because this seems to be the common denominator with a lot of these threats.
Verfield. It's not a name that I know, but we will look into it.
He may be somebody worth learning.
This is the mage of the tower you speak of?
Perhaps, yes.
And this tower just is invisible?
It is perhaps in its own dimension.
Oh,
I think it might be in its own dimension since we arrived to it through a portal. And then they escaped it through the same portal. And Kater had been captured by this guy. I think that he arrived and escaped through portals when he was held captive there.
well, this is something we've not heard of before.
Definitely bear investigation.
We'll keep an ear to the ground.
I hope that we won't be meeting again here soon.
As do I. But I do look forward to your return.
Thank you. Under better circumstances.
By his watch. And Galleon comes over with like a purse. Like, this should cover the expenses for teleportation.
Thank you. All right, so I've got a bag of gold.
Who said you don't make money in this campaign?
That's right.
Gotta go ask for it.
I said, hey, I need some money. And they're like, sure, here's some money.
Here's some money.
I didn't realize it was that easy.
I tried that before and it didn't work that well.
It's just begging. He's just going around asking everybody for money this afternoon. I'm kidding.
How'd you guys do today? We made $2,000. Doing what? We just went around and asked for it. People around here were very friendly. All right. So in the meantime, Keldrin, you're eating lunch, finishing lunch.
Yeah. Just waiting for
Waiting for-
Kater. Enjoying
get
my
back.
lunch.
So Kater, you're now like trying to scoop out and find another person.
I mean, yes. I mean, the first argument was the easier one, but the second one's the more consequential one. I mean, like, we need this to get off of Asalia.
Yep.
As far as I know.
So it actually takes you a good part of the afternoon to, talk to some of your friends, and you go here and you find out it's a dead end. You go here, you find out it's a bogus, So I mean, yeah, you're moving about, but you do hear there is somebody that may have, but obviously, if they're traveling by that means, they're gonna have it kind of well protected, and sure enough, it seems to be like some kind of noble that has come here from far away, and they're not from around here, you know that, and so you're like, okay, well, like I have a person, but now it's like I need to be able to get to them, and that's where things are a lot more difficult this time around. So what's your plan for this?
So the nobles, I assume, staying somewhere, but probably with another noble.
Yep.
I guess first thing I'd figure out is this like a noble's household, or is this like a noble's like guarded keep? Like, what level of noble is this?
Lower household. So not a keep. There's not 100 soldiers guarding it. There's certainly a bodyguard, but not a.
There's no moat and wall.
No moat, no wall. Yeah.
Okay, good start. All right, so the approach I think I would take this time is, again, procuring some aid from urchin friends if they're willing. And this time I'll pay for it if they feel like they need the compensation. Starting a ruckus out front of that house that might draw the attention and ire of that guard. So whether they're harassing that guard or like they're just starting a street fight right there in front of the house, like whatever they're going to do in order to draw eyes towards the road, towards the street. And then the tear will head in if it requires some second story work. He's more than happy to do that. To try and go sneak in from a side or back entrance or through a window. And then, go searching for the additional room. I don't know if anybody on the street happens to know more specifics about where it would be in the house. Otherwise, taking whatever time he can to search and try to find the document.
Okay. How much money are you willing to spend? Because the urchins are a little more nervous about doing something like this.
I'll give him a gold.
Okay. So, like, one of the urchins is okay with that.
The other one's holding out.
Yeah, because he's like, essentially like, but we could get in trouble, and we
How
could be
about
able.
legal?
All right, so like, three of your urchin buddies are like, well, we can split this 3 ways. All right, all goes a long way. Yeah. So you just want us to like make a boom, wait for the crowd to show up, and run away. All right. Hold on, he's thinking.
Put on a grand show.
Big show?
A grand show.
All right, we'll do our best.
No. Take all the time you need.
I can't tell if he's being sarcastic. Yeah, I can't either. We'll just go. So, now?
He'll scurry off to get into a position to be able to sneak on the property and do his part.
All right. Okay, yeah, and so you see the 3 guys, like, they wait a reasonable amount of time. And actually, there's 2 guys and a woman, and so you hear the woman like scream, like a blood-curdling scream, and like people like turn around, and some people immediately like clear out, and you see one of them standing over her, like like menacingly, like he's doing something to her, and the other one, you hear him yell out like, "Hey, you stop it!" And he runs and he like dives on them, and they all 3 end up like in this big old roll right in front of the fence. You see the guard, like the there's a couple guys who come out of the house, and the weapons are drawn, like, "Hey, what's going on?" And then a couple others like appear from like side, and they're all looking, and they have their like weapon crossbows raised, and and so they're tumbling in the street. You're like, okay, now's a good time. I can.
That's my cue.
Yeah. So, make your stealth roll.
Any advantage there with distractions?
Yeah, I guess I can give you that.
There. I needed it. Yeah, I'm gonna bet on a 17. We'll save Saloon's blessing. Will we? No, we're not. We're not chancing it on that. Okay, let's go with a 19 again.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you creep up, and they seem to be focused, and they don't notice you, and you sneak past them. You get to a window. There's a little bit of a climbing ledge if you want to go up like through the second window.
Yeah.
So you scurry up, and you peer over, and you don't see anybody in here, so it seems like the coast is clear here. You gotta sneak in. So I think your second roll, needs to be an investigation type roll because you're looking now. You're trying to do it without attracting a lot of attention.
Not as good at that. Let's see. Not bad. All right.
I didn't even
Better
roll.
than I thought it would be.
I didn't even roll the dice for the first one. It's okay.
No, I know.
I just gave you. I like the distraction. I like the fight that was going on.
So is that for the first one? Or that for the second one?
I don't know why I can't add the +5 to it.
Oh, they're both bad.
Yeah, so you're looking around to see like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. And so you don't find what you're looking for. And as you're looking, you hear open a door, and you see like somebody walking right towards you. So you kind of crack open the door, like I'm gonna go to this next room, and you see somebody walking right towards you, and they catch a glimpse of like your eyes through the door.
Don't know how quick my thought is. Does this person, I don't know if I'd gotten a description otherwise, does this person seem like an outlander from these lands?
They look like a servant of some kind. Beyond that, it's hard to tell.
That works. So he'll go into the door. Noisy. I'm motioning out towards the front.
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here? Repeating in their voice.
I am employed here. Who are you?
I'm employed. Noble from far off.
What is your name?
Kater.
There's no Kater that works for her. What is your employment? What is your business?
Can I see the room?
Let me see the room. What room?
The room.
The room. You're in a room. What room?
Did he say? Did he gender the person? I guess that was a her.
Uh-huh.
Her room.
For what? I've just cleaned her room.
I clean her room.
No. I have cleaned her room. That is my You are not even
cleaned the room.
Be here.
Supposed to be here. I clean her room.
I hate to say this. You're gonna have to make a persuasion check.
Okay. Not very good at it.
That was not your favorite skill in the world.
I love persuasion.
Can I take deception instead? Since I'm trying to deceive him?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can go.
Because I'm at least better at that.
Yeah.
Use the last one. 18.
Oh, that was good.
Thank you, Saloon. I'll delete that from my character sheet. Used all three.
Oh, it was a.
That's the
Goes
target.
to the runner.
I
goes to the
go
runner.
runner. I clean her room.
But I've already cleaned it. You don't need to do the same job. Look,
Substandard.
I haven't got. Beg your pardon. It is not a substandard job. The kitchen, maybe yes, but that's because nobody goes in there but me anyway. But the bedroom.
A room. And he taps his foot, waiting.
All right. I will. You will. But I'm not leaving. You're not going to mess up what I have worked all morning for.
All right.
Terry, man, the damn nobles don't ever tell us anything about who we're working with. They just show up, and next thing you know, come on, and quiet. Right, she's downstairs. She's working. Shh. She's probably already heard us anyway. Come on. He takes you essentially to the end of the hallway, and opens the door, and there's a. It does look pretty clean, but yeah.
Well, I'll go around and start inspecting and taking a look at everything and nodding, giving him a nod of approval. I'm kind of looking around, checking a few things. I'll look for anything out of sort to be able to toss up. And even if it's not out of sorts, I'll take something that he did and adjust it. So, like, if there's a desk in there and it's arranged a certain way, go and rearrange it a little bit to shift some things around, because that's the way she works.
Yeah.
And while doing this inspection, looking around to see if I can also find what I'm looking for.
So when you go over to the bed, and make a perception roll.
I won't do that.
Or investigation, whichever one you want to make. But
Roll perception is definitely better.
kind of what I figured, but. All right, yeah. So you go to the bed, and you essentially fluff the pillows a little bit, because they didn't
We're
see.
talking about-
It's all like one little crease where the blanket, so you kind of fix that. But as you do, your foot kicks something, and you fluff, and you kind of glance down, and you see there's a bag there. It looks like a travel bag of some kind. It's just kind of sitting there, and it's kind of half opened, and you see things in it that could be useful. It's hard to tell.
And there's a wardrobe in here.
Yep.
And that's a place to go. And I'll look back at him. I'll motion to the bag. I'll shake my head. I'll pick it up and I'll take it over to the wardrobe and start sifting through to take out things and put.
No. That's her personal effects. Don't no.
Is her personal effects.
No. Don't mess with that.
That is her personal effects.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's her personal effects.
And I'll continue towards the wardrobe and open it up and start, looking through to things that I could be putting back while also looking for.
He'll close the door behind him. What are you doing? No. When he comes over to you, and as you're pulling stuff out of the bag, you see there's some papers at the bottom of the bag. So you're putting this, that, and the other, but he comes up. What? No. That.
I'll take the papers out and shove the bag at him, and then point at the wardrobe. And then I'll take the papers and walk on over to the desk and start, sorting and identifying what to go where.
Those need to stay in here. That's her bag.
Her bag.
Yes, that's what I said. That's her bag.
And point again to the bag and to the wardrobe while I work on organizing, trying to stack and officiate and trying to find the one that I'm looking for.
Listen. Make an investigation roll.
Oh, God.
Yeah, this is the investigation.
I'm running out of rolls, Johnny. I've been rolling my ass off. I don't think it's going to continue much longer.
Oh,
I mean,
That's not a convincing follow-up.
I'm going to keep saying if I can beat you. I cannot beat you. Yeah.
That was on my side for this heist.
But no. And he glances over at the wardrobe, just kind of, in his panic. And as he does, you kind of quickly glance down, and you're like, "Oh, that looks pretty official. That probably could work." It's you clearly see and it's actually not one. You see it's kind of several of them, kind of. But you're like, that whole little stack right there probably would work well.
Then I will go ahead and take that.
You are rolling your ass off, aren't you?
We need these documents.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he's. I can't put those. You turn the perfume bottle, and like he reaches over, and like starts straight. Don't mess with the stuff that's already there. But and he comes over to you and like takes the bag from you. Give me that. And he looks at the papers that are still in there, and he doesn't seem to notice there's some missing. And he goes over and starts like putting stuff back in.
He throws up his hands like he's fed up and walks out. And he'll quickly head back to the room he entered from and disappear out a window.
Yeah, so you get back to the window, and you hear his footsteps, and they seem to be going down the steps. Yeah. Yeah, so but you get to the window, you look out, the ruckus in the street is it's cleared up. Your 3 gold pieces you spent have definitely like
He's done their job.
gone somewhere. Make one more stealth roll.
Here's what happens. Okay.
You rolled less than a 14 this entire encounter.
I think so.
One time.
Oh,
Yeah, but it turned into an 18.
that's
Oh
true.
man, look at that.
17.
So
Okay, well, yeah. So you sneak back down the side, and the guards are all, you hear them talking like, "What was that about? I don't know. What strange places we're in. Hopefully, we won't be here too long." And
And gone and away. I'll take the city streets back to Tulip at whatever the speed is for City Walker, or whatever it's called.
okay. All right, and so Stavid, what are you doing this afternoon?
So I don't know. He was just kind of trying to figure out a plan B. Like, what are there any other ways off, like standard ways to get off of the bulge?
I mean,
Out of the,
you do know. I mean, you do know you could like get on board, like get on a ship. Usually, it'd be some kind of like merchant ship, and it may not necessarily be from here, but occasionally there could be a merchant ship that departs from the tower area at least, or the bulge itself. That's probably about it.
when he's going to the tower,
there's
like,
one
are you
other
allowed to
way.
just?
There's one other way to get off the bulge.
Right, I know that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if there's another.
I mean, and we know about the flying. There's no more flying ships around.
I mean, you haven't seen any yet.
Other than the one we came here on.
Right.
That was the last time we saw a flying ship, I think.
I just, just
Yeah.
so like going to the tower, is that normal? I thought like the tower was kind of protected, like.
So the tower itself is protected, but like if there are ships that come in, and again, there occasionally are, you can certainly, you would have to figure out like the schedule of when there's a ship that's departing or one that's coming in. There also could be like, and you've been on these type of ships before, like an actual like Navy ship, but that wouldn't necessarily get you. I mean, that would get you in the water, but that wouldn't actually go far.
Right.
I mean, the other option would be to wait for a visiting merchant ship to come in. But again, if they came here, The problem you're noticing with your location, of course, is that you are the northernmost of the islands, which means you're farthest away from the direction that most or nearly all ships come from.
Mm-hmm.
So generally, they are going to stop at one of the southernest islands bulges before yours. So
Could I? Yeah, I mean, can I like figure out what ships are in dock on the tower without going there, or can I go there without it being suspicious? Like,
well, you're not supposed to leave the city, so.
and that was specific. Okay, that wasn't just the bulge. It was like
No, it was don't leave Cloud Force.
Okay.
What?
Yeah. I mean, could I maybe even just, I don't know if there's a like through talking to somebody, a merchant, somebody at a bar, tavern, a sailor, whatever. Just try and get that information about what boats are. I don't know.
Yeah, you could ask around. And okay.
Yeah, I don't want to be like too nosy, but I'm just trying to figure out when this all goes down and whatever, and we have to get out of here.
Right.
An alternative option.
So, long story short, essentially you find out that like the next like naval ship kind of rotation, like they're going to be out at sea. They're scheduled for like another week, and then they'll come back in because it's usually close to like a 28-day cycle where they're out and then they come back in. Then by back in, what does it mean? Like they'll come back, to reprovision or whatever, but they'll stay on the ship and then go back out. And then after 28 days, those people will depart, new people will get on, except for the people who are always there. But you also don't hear like there's any like inbound ships, and not that you would necessarily know about that ahead of time, because sometimes ships just show up and they're escorted in and that type of thing. So right now,
just dock.
No, and there's no and so there's nothing that's here, like at the moment. And if there are in other bulges, it's not communicated here.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of good options.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, you ask around during the day and, indiscreetly, of course. And, there's not a lot of good sea options at the moment. Like I said, you think by the end of the week, there would just be like a naval ship. If you want to hijack one or something. But
naval ship's the worst kind of hijack. I mean, once you accomplish it, it's great, but it's the accomplishing that's tricky.
Yeah, it seems like it might be a little difficult, but so so I'll say like between you're asking around and Kater's heroic die rolling and like Elenius' conversations and Keldrin's like back in the room, it's like kind of late afternoon by the time y'all are able to like congregate, or at least Kater is able to get back to Keldrin.
And after, I think the only other thing I'll do if there's time before he gets back is like once I finish eating lunch and chat a little bit with some people.
Of course.
I'll go back upstairs and like start on the letter, because that part of it is just a letter. Like I can write a letter, explaining like nefarious magic. These people were captured. They got here somehow through strange and mystical means, and we're going to see them back home. Blah blah blah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. All right. So you're writing the letter out. Kater comes back. If Elenius and Stabbin want to also meet up, then that's fine. If they're waiting till dinner time as usual, then that's fine too. But Kater is here at least.
Ah, wonderful. Any success? Of course you were successful. Why even question it?
You muted. Soup, you're muted.
I muted. You put down the bolge to bolge one.
Excellent.
And then the stack of papers for the teleportation beside.
Oh, you found everything. This will make it very easy. Wonderful work. I expected no less, of course.
Of course.
So yeah, I'll take a look at those and use those as a guide for making versions of them for us.
Okay.
And actually, as we're taking a look at them, to what degree do they seem like a generic script? Like fill in here's the dotted line, fill in these things, versus like they were specifically written for, like the letter, like specifically written for this person.
So the bulge to bulge one is very very generic. It's very, this gives you permission to pass from one bulge to the other. The coming from somewhere else does have a very specific, this person is here for these reasons, and so it spells it all out, and there's differing documentation, and every single document is similar, but it lists all the people that are in her retinue that are with her. So that's why it's kind of so thick. You notice there's no Kater in there anywhere, so it's weird. But yeah. So, but yeah. So it does spell out Jerry is here, on a diplomatic mission for blah blah, that kind of thing. So that's how it's spelled out.
So Kater will take the bulge to bulge one off the side and stack of paper, and I can do it. And he'll point at this big stack and just push it off towards you for the portal one.
Oh, sure, of course, yes. I will handle this one, and we'll be ready to depart.
Yeah, so Kater will use his expert forgery, duplicate handwriting in works, since he's not as creative as Keldrin is, to try to write out what would be needed for the teleportation.
Okay.
So I'll attempt to do something similar to this, where I'll give reasons for everyone to come along. So obviously, the two people are being returned to their homeland, so that's their reason. But Kater, his services are needed as a scout and guide, someone who is very aware of his surroundings and knows where to go. Elenius is needed for spiritual guidance should anything disrupt their travel, or take a spiritual toll on anyone making this journey. Stavid is there just in case anything should befall them. If anything decides to attack, they need a stalwart soldier like Stavid along. And Malignant is coming along as Stavid's second in command to sort of learn how to protect others and fulfill this kind of guardian role, and then of course, Caldron is needed as a negotiator, as a communicator, someone who understands several languages and can communicate on behalf of the party should they need. There's a reason.
Okay. Trying to calculate all this. So Kater is making the bolge to bolge quick pass, essentially. And Keldron's doing more complicated one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I already provide myself advantage for doing this, so I will, as needed, turn to aid him in what he's doing.
Okay. So
Yes, and I will inspire Kater. So if ever he feels like something goes wrong sometime within the next hour or so, then he can add a d6 to that.
That's better than saloons.
Yeah. I mean, with that one, you don't even know. Like, where does it come from? Are they actually talking? I don't know. Like, I'm
You're here.
talking to you. I'm telling you,
I'm feeling inspired.
yeah, how amazing you are and how I know your skills lend themselves so well to this.
And this is a great grift. It's awesome.
Yeah. It'll be one of the more impressive ones that have been pulled off.
Yeah.
It'll be part of it.
and you are using a forgery kit, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So it does take you some time, especially it does not take Kater nearly as long because it's again a little simpler. Yours is, a little more lengthy. So what you're going to roll is an intelligence check. And what it does, that determines the DC for someone trying to spot the fake. Now, y'all said you're providing each other things that help. And I think because you're using a kit, you get your double proficiency bonus when you do it. If I read that correctly somewhere.
Or if you're proficient with forgery kit, then you get your proficiency bonus.
Maybe that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, so I get my proficiency bonus on the dex check that I make to forge a thing.
Okay.
Or, well, does the forgery kit specify dex? Like it's the check. So if he's having you make an intelligence check, it'd be intelligence plus.
I guess it depends on what we're doing. The new forgery kit is different.
Oh.
Depends on what kind of forgery kit you're looking at. You get one of those shiny new ones, or you have like a 10-year-old forgery kit.
That's true. I mean, I'll let you choose your ability if you want to use dexterity or intelligence.
The new forgery kit uses dex. Because you're trying to make a copy of someone's handwriting exactly as it.
I took her out. She's good.
Yes, I'll let you. I don't. Yeah, you can use dexterity or you can use intelligence, whichever one you want to use.
I would like to use dexterity.
I'd imagine.
No one wants intelligence.
Nobody wants intelligence around here.
We don't like
idiots.
Yeah, we are a bunch of
We know
idiots.
what we're doing. We're clearly not trying to be intelligent.
You're smart enough to know we're not smart.
Yep.
That's where intelligence 10 and 11 gets you.
Wise enough to know I'm not smart.
Wise enough, yeah, that's probably.
And again, what this does is this sets like the DC for somebody trying to spot your forgery.
Okay.
So you can determine whether you think you've done a good enough job or not. And if you don't like it, then
You know what?
obviously work on another document. And
You know what? I like it. I like a 24 DC to try and spot my forgery.
All right.
It's one. Now I got 2 uses. I think that's going to be pretty hard. I feel good. I feel really good about this forgery, actually. This is the greatest forgery probably anyone's ever done.
All right, so we're busy forging stuff. Kater, did you roll?
No, not yet.
Okay.
This is just Dex plus. Plus 2 on top of that. Oh, go. I think 24 is good. I got to use this in the next hour, anyways, right?
Yep.
Let's make it a 24. Or so there's already 20. Let's make it a 26.
26.
Got some good documents here.
24 and 26.
We're good at what we do.
Yeah.
This is not amateur hour.
You do feel like having the documentation to copy made that quite a bit easier. You do feel like you would definitely not be at advantage, and you'd be at some disadvantages with some of those. Yeah, so yeah, so you are busy.
Keldrin thinks he made the best forgery ever, and then he looks over and he's like, "Oh damn!"
Well, that one was simple. Like that one's
You're competing with a Kenku, like mimicking is what we do.
yeah, and that one was the simple one. Like this one was a lot hard. The difficulty was a lot higher on the thing I was.
Keldrin's never been second best at anything. He's not going to start now.
And in all fairness, Kater's was more of a quick, Kater's actually Keldrin's obviously does spill over into it's pretty long. He's got to have the letter, then he's got to have the documentation to prove it. So it actually takes you a couple hours to get, Kater's finished way more. Yeah, I mean you're burning through the ink and trying not to blotch anything, and you're making sure it's all looking good. So at some point, I guess through to dinner time, I don't know if you would have stopped and eat dinner, if you would have finished first and then gone for dinner. Yeah, you took a dinner break. Yeah. So you meet up with y'all meet up for your normal dinner. I don't know if you discuss anything you've discovered during the day or
limiting myself to 1 cup of wine because I need to be coordinated. It's really terrible.
They're basically done, so he'll have 2 mugs of ale.
And John Furs and in the tulip. I need to go over to my tulip page. Come on.
Right, it's nice to have a bar page.
Yeah, always gotta have a bar page.
Yeah. In the tulip.
Yeah.
Look at that.
When is the next time we will be sitting in the tulip?
Never. Never again. This is the last.
Half of us will be dead.
Like the last,
one of us might make it back.
Like if we do everything well enough, it'll be the last session we make it back to the tulip.
We come back to the tulip and we sit down and
that's the close.
Uh-huh.
I honestly, I'll probably make a toast like that. Like, guys, you realize this might be the last time we're here in a long time.
We'll miss this place.
Everybody gets all sad.
Their service pulls us elsewhere, but
Or trying to save our skins pulls us elsewhere.
Well, how are the forgeries going?
I don't think anyone could possibly question the validity of anything that we've made.
I like your confidence.
It's going to be easy. We're just going to walk right through. People will read our documents, see that everything is in order, and we'll be in for all before you know it.
All right. Sounds good. I did not find a plan B. There are no boats anytime
That's a shame.
for a while. I mean, we wait a week, and even then, it's a military ship.
And they just go
So,
on patrol and come back.
what's that?
And they just go on patrol and come back. They won't.
Yeah. I was thinking like we might have to like commandeer one, but that seems unlikely, and I got nothing. I mean, all we got is Plan C.
I don't think we'll even need a Plan C. If this doesn't work, then we'll improvise.
I did get us gold to pay for the teleportation circle. I assumed that we would still be needing that.
Well, that's great.
We will need that, but that is very helpful. So I just have a little bit more to do after dinner, and then be done.
So at least get off this bulge tonight, if at all possible.
I think that's wise.
We'll be ready.
Everybody make a how about just make a straight intelligence roll?
Oh no!
Why?
Johnny, you're being mean.
Because it's a smart thing. It's not really a wise thing. It's a smart thing. Oh, we're going up. 10, 11, 15. And
There we go.
look at that. We just went up every single time.
1-1-1-0. What is this? Wow, this is great.
So smart. This is great. So as you guys are talking and eating, and Keldrin brings up, brings up for all again. It occurs to, let's say, Stavid first. Where in For All are we going? Because you may not have the most keenest idea of magic, but you do know a teleportation circle doesn't just drop you off in the middle of in the air. It takes you to another teleportation circle.
So does your document say where we're supposed to be going? Did we?
I haven't gotten to that part yet. I was working on who we were and why we were going. So that's next. That's the part I have to finish up.
Yeah, so I mean, I understand it's a really big place, right? We probably need to pick a location there.
Well, we're taking our companions home, so wherever they live.
Yeah, I guess
Are they here? Can we ask them?
I mean, you
They're
can.
having dinner with us, right?
I think we kind of know, yeah, right? But
Right. They probably don't have teleportation circles in their town, so I could be talking to them and be like, "What's the nearest big place?"
Yeah, if you were gonna go take a teleportation circle somewhere, where'd you go? If you're setting out from home, you're going to teleport of your own free will, not be teleported by a weird evil magician.
I guess I forgot the name of it, but it's on my map.
Oh, you have a map? Perfect.
My computer is slow to pull up. Yeah, he pulls out his laptop. He's like, it's right here.
Strange things from other lands.
do you have a map? He doesn't have a map on him, right?
No, I have a map, but it is slowly loading. So I'll just, I guess Lyra. And then John Dolfers is like, that's nowhere near where I'm from.
Where are you from?
Well, I suppose probably the closest place that somewhere like here would have would be it's a city we call, King City.
That sounds important.
I mean, it's
Where the king lives.
well, in theory, it's a large city.
The kind of place where there would be a lot of people to ask if you were looking for someone in particular.
I'm sure.
Here, we're gonna take a chunk of bread that's on the table, take out a dagger and point it at one of the two and point it at the other one, and then cut the bread in half and split it.
Are you saying we should split up?
Yeah.
The bread.
Takes a chunk of bread and puts it over here next to near who was a human and a gnome.
Yeah, or a human and halfling. Halfling, yeah.
And then takes the other chunk of bread and puts it in front of the halfling, and then stabs the table in between the two distant loaves of bread. Splits of bread.
You want them to fight to the death to see where we go?
No, fight to death over the bread.
Right, but then.
Oh no, nothing to do with the knife.
Just take the knife and put it away.
Oh, just the.
It's a nice knife.
Malignant, like, points as you're putting the knife away. You mean, like, where are they from fighting, right?
Find some place in the middle.
He says to you, Keldrin.
He points to 11.
Where they're. Oh wait, find some. I'll find a place in the middle.
Yeah, since they don't live near each other.
Where they're from is that. Fighting.
Oh. That's why I use knife, but okay.
I don't.
How far is King City from your town?
Jondalfers? Are you asking Jondalfers?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a few days by horse.
Days?
Yes.
It takes you days to get from one. So they're like on the opposite coast of this place or something. Must be right.
No, I'm nowhere near a coastline. We're a little remote, if you will.
This continent is bigger than I conceived initially.
Oh yes, King City. That's probably 3 weeks by horse from my place, from my village.
What
You can
type of
ride a
horses?
horse for 3 weeks
Yes.
and still.
Well, 3 weeks. Maybe that's a small horse.
Are
Maybe,
they a half-size
two-
horse?
Maybe 2 weeks. I am small. Maybe 2 weeks. But it's a far journey. Lyra is probably 5 days from me. But
And he looks over at Jondalfers.
Lyra is probably what?
He says 3 weeks.
Okay.
So what is Lyra near?
Wait, I don't know what you mean.
So is it near a major city? Is Lyra a major city?
Oh yes, Lyra is the capital.
Of Ferrol?
Yes.
Your king doesn't live in the capital.
No, King City is the capital of Garwinia.
Wait, no, we're going to Ferrol, not Garwinia.
Yes, Garwinia and Ferrol make up.
So there's different kingdoms on Ferrol.
Yes, and Ferrol is one of the kingdoms on Ferrol. I don't know why.
Okay.
The creator ran out of names, clearly.
I gotta name the continent after one of the places on it.
Right.
So wait, is King City bigger than Lyra?
Yes. King City is the most populous city on the continent, at least as far as I know. Yes, that's usually what people say.
Ooh, we should go there then. That Elodie's probably there.
Or at least we'd be more likely to get a lead on her there than anywhere else. And I understand, Elenius, what you're saying about going in the middle, but it seems like that leaves us with a lot of travel, even after we get there.
Everybody would be a week and a half away from their homes.
Yes.
If there was a place that was in the middle, which seems unlikely. How many kingdoms are on for all? We need Wait, this is something Elenius might already know from studying the Vanishing.
Hold on. Press that button. Hold on. I'm not sure why my map making program is having issues, but it's having issues, so.
Well, it's a hard question to answer.
Andronifer just nods his head.
At one time, there were 7. But only 6 of them were on the continent. And then this whole...
Was the 7th one flying above it?
No, not flying. That's... Oh, well, I mean, it was ludicrous. But anyway, no. It was it was surrounding in the waters. Yes, but anyway, but then this whole the vanishing thing, and then some places didn't handle it very well, and there's been it hasn't worked so well. So there's still technically 7 kingdoms in name, but there's a bit more strife now than there was in earlier days. But I've just remembered the Molinyar would probably be somewhere in the middle, right, Trondolfers? It's an approximation, but it would be about halfway between where we are. It's not nearly as populated as King City or Lyra.
Would it have a teleportation circle at it?
Yes. Yeah, that is one as well.
Malignant, it sounds like maybe a lot of their land is at war. I have to be careful when we...
So we're going to war?
Hopefully not.
Mm. I haven't been training lately.
I think we're going to try to avoid it. I think we're just going to go to their biggest city and see what happens. See what we can find there. The city's probably not at war.
Like Cloudforth?
Sounds like it might be a little bigger.
Bigger than here?
Mm-hmm. It'll be something to see.
Wow.
So, King City then. Maybe that's the best place to start.
I think that makes sense.
Okay.
If we're not going to the midpoint, then I guess that's the spot we should go to.
Yeah, I mean, in Gorby, we can definitely, get you where you need to go. See if we can find out how to not take 3 weeks to get there.
Well, I'm sure. Well, yeah, we'll figure it out. You guys.
Oh,
I mean,
there's one of these circles in King City, and there's one in your home as well. Then they would just let you use that, right?
well, if we can afford it,
Oh,
that seems
There-
figure
for funds.
something out.
Their magic circles have to be powered every time.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Their magic circles have to get powered every time, just like the circle that we're using to get off the island up the bulge has to get powered every time.
Well, from what I understand, it's not really powered. It's just they move some runes around on the floor, and there's a certain pattern combination they put them in, and then and then you get there.
But it's just a matter of money. So if we can pay for your travel back home, then whisk you away. You'll be home.
Then I would be doubly indebted to you. You would have to stay for at least brunch.
Brunch. Of course. We wouldn't miss brunch.
Excellent. Some of my people apparently call that second breakfast, but that's neither here nor there.
Second breakfast. I never thought of that. That's a good idea.
All right. So we set out in the morning.
I think we would tonight. We might as well go tonight.
Tonight?
Sure, why not?
Is that going to look a little suspicious?
No.
Aren't you guys persona
There's a
non
better chance
grata
that-
around here?
There's a better chance that somebody who actually knows what's going on won't be there.
Yeah, things are quieter at night. They're not going to want to disturb the person who's authorizing our travel. So it's probably better for you to go at night.
They asked us to.
They ask you to go at night?
Yes.
Who did?
That is the person who is sending us to bring you home. Just to go at night.
Okay.
So as to not, arouse any sort of ruckus in the town.
All right.
So
Okay.
I just need to finish up a few things, and then we'll be ready to depart.
Okay. I guess I'll get my things.
Great.
So you go to
Yep.
finish
Go back
finish up the documentation.
to get us to King City.
King City. Make sure you put King City on.
For all.
All right. So after dinner at some point. It's the evening. It's definitely getting dark outside. But yeah, you feel like you have all your documentation in order.
And when Caldron emerges from his room with the final documents, he's dressed completely differently than he was when he went in. He's got his adventuring clothes on now.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
there's a new Caldron.
Oh, it's not that guy with the pipe anymore.
No, he had to stow the pipe.
Put him on the front page and put him. Here, I'll just move back so everybody can see the front page again. That's
Yeah.
easier.
It's ready to go. We're traveling. I can't just wear my normal around town go to the tavern clothes for a far
Do
away
these look
travel.
like they've ever been worn before?
No.
Brand new.
Brand new.
All right. So the plan is to head over and attempt to leave.
Walk through like we're supposed to.
Yeah,
No, we're not going to attempt to leave.
oh, we're leaving. We are supposed to be there. We have to do this.
That's right.
We've been told. We've been ordered, in fact, to do this.
Yep. So you head over to the mark. Okay. So you know that the portal itself is located within Hawkspire, which you remember from your dream. That's that marble tower. That's where, that's essentially the arrival and departing point is.
I'm sorry. Along the way, or at some point before we leave, I wanted to find a couple of trustworthy contacts among my friends to deliver those documents back to their owners, and I'll pay them to do so. So like just
Show back up at the place with the documentation.
yeah, like just right, like maybe for the one that's bolt to bulge, oh, you drop this, here you go, maybe they'll get an extra reward. And then for the one for the nobleman, just like go drop it off inconspicuously and get away. So I'll give a couple gold each to a couple of accomplices, friends who he trusts to actually get those documents where they're going.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So they
like Calvin said, we're gonna return them.
Yeah. I don't know how that's gonna go, but we'll find out.
And it's not my problem. That's why I sent my friends.
Yeah. Okay. So you head to Hawkspire. Yeah, you get there. The evening is definitely set in by now. As you approach, it is fairly quiet. It's clearly not a lot of people arrive and depart, at night. I mean, as most people do. So you get kind of to the outside, and there are a couple of guards, people that are on duty, that are just kind of milling about outside. Maybe think of them as like, not a patrol, but they're just, they're just kind of there. And as you all approach, it's like one of them looks at you all, and he seems to have a glint of recognition in his eye.
They know us.
And he kind of elbows his buddy. His buddy looks over at y'all, and he looks at some of you, and his eyes kind of fall malignant. He's like, "Oh," and they start talking back and forth to each other quietly. And then the one who first noticed you kind of steps not directly in your way, but steps towards where you're about to enter Hawkspire. Says, you going somewhere, guys?
Why, yes, indeed. We are going somewhere.
That's rude. I was just asking you a question.
I'm just rude. There's nothing rude about it.
Just trying to be friendly.
Yeah.
What am I doing here? What am I saving?
Wisdom save.
It's a wisdom save. I can do that. Let's see. Let me see if this works. Oh, that's not with advantage. Take the first roll, whatever it is.
We'll do
That's
the
a
first one.
Beautiful.
7.
7 is the one that I'd prefer, actually.
Yes,
Yeah.
I like that one.
All right. So what did you say? Sorry.
Yes, we are. And hope to keep it really quiet, so as to not alarm one about what happened and why these two, and we'll kind of point at, our two Feralians.
Mm.
The weird things that made them end up here, and we're just supposed to quietly escort them back home and come back before anyone's the wiser and anyone asks any questions. And we've been instructed to do this, as you can see, and so I'll pull out the letter and the papers to get us to Goldfly. We're going to just do it nice, quickly, quietly. We'll be back before anyone has even realized we were gone.
And he looks at the paper, but he doesn't really read it. He just kind of glances at it. And his comrade, his hand kind of falling on the sword. He's looking at you, and his buddy looks over at him and says, "That makes sense." And the other guy goes, "What? You mean it makes sense?" I thought that hey, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, he kind of turns his back on you where you're entering. And, you see, maybe it's an opportunity we should walk in before the conversation goes any further. And you can tell they're starting to talk about it.
It's just doing his duty. Good job.
Oh, shoot. Forgot how things work. Hold on. I'm on roll 20.
Do I gotta cast more spells? Oh, okay.
Put you back on the tulip for a second, because apparently you can't travel more than one level around here. There we go. All right. I guess I probably need to put your tokens actually on the map, huh?
I mean,
We're only gonna be here for a second. We're just
Only gonna be here for a second. Yeah.
We're leaving.
All right.
Yeah.
I like that. Just in case, Can y'all see the map without your tokens being on there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I didn't add a layer or anything to it, so that's cool.
Square room with the circle in the middle.
Well, half of you are on here, so that's cool.
Yeah.
It's Kater and Malignant, Gorby, and Jonulfers, apparently.
That's exactly
the rest
who
of
we
you,
want going in.
The rest of you pushed them in and ran away.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
You guys take care of it. We're fine. All right, let's see.
we'll let the Malignant take the lead on talking to them.
The one thing I wish you could do is let's have a party of 8, so copy. I mean, yeah, I'm sure this will be fine.
We've got proper documentation. Why wouldn't?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't refuse properly documented travel.
Taliban,
That's true.
right?
It's very true. All right. Let me find
the
Keldrin and
Very
this new
underpinning
thing.
of our entire society.
Which one? What's under? What is?
The
Bureaucracy.
yeah. The
That's
way
true.
things work here in the Bolges is if we don't keep that order and have things work the way they're supposed to work, then
That is very true.
chaos and anarchy. Oh yeah,
here
stop
now.
it. Get him. Never mind. We don't need any documents. Stop. It's 100 feet tall. Oh yeah, look, I'm huge too. Oh.
There we go. Okay. Okay. I don't know if that's all of you, but that's good. Is that all of you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Party.
Party.
Am I there?
Party 7.
Yeah, you're there.
Right,
You're on the edge.
you're at the bottom left.
Oh,
Bottom
yeah.
the left side.
I see it.
That's a lot. All right. Yeah. So as you approach, you see there is an attendant at this desk, and she she doesn't she's at her desk and she's just busy. She's got like paperwork in front of her, and she and you do notice there are like 4 guards kind of just leaning against the wall, looking kind of bored. And she's looking down at first when you approach, like she doesn't raise her head. And you can see her behind her, like this is that circle here that's that you can just walk right through, think about where you want to go, and you go there. At least if it's within the Italian limits. So yeah, she's sitting there. And so it's clear that she hears your footsteps approaching. And she's still looking down the papers. And she just says, "Good evening."
Ah, good evening.
And she raises her head and looks at you. And again, she stops.
It might seem strange. You may not have expected to see us here. But we have a very important objective that we need to do. We've been given instructions, as you can see, and I'll slip the letter and the pass over. And we're coming to you at this hour so that we can return these two to their home and get back without disturbing anyone in town or causing any confusion or disturbance about the strange events that got them here. We're keeping everything very quiet, or that we don't upset the populace here in Cloudforth. So,
as you're talking, she takes the papers and is looking at them as you're talking.
we're going to escort them home, and we'll be back before you know it. It'll be so pleasant to get to see you again later this evening.
Again, not with advantage. Does appear these are in order, but that is not.
If the people found out about what happened to bring these two here, our patron is worried of the panic that would ensue and the fear that would set in among the population here in Cloudforth. So that's why we're doing it very quietly.
When will you return?
Well, assuming that we are able to make the next step of our journey and Goldfly as soon as we arrive there, then it should be mere moments. I'm going to see them back to their city and return right away. Of course, we don't wish to be away for very long at all. I think we have to be back here to do our duty, of course.
And the paperwork does check out. It's very odd. It's coming from different. But
I recognize that this whole situation is very odd, and we'll be happy to put it behind us, I can assure you.
well, it is proper pass, and it is signed properly, and everything seems to be checked. And right, well,
I wish we didn't need it, but such are the times we live in.
All right, be about you.
Of course. Thank you. And
Good evening.
good evening, and I can't wait until my eyes fall on your beautiful face again on a return. Good little wink.
Just go.
We go, and out of character, I'm curious. Can our 3 companions go through?
So, Malignant, what I need you to think about.
Well, also, you had said like our Yetin fuels us being able to go. So, can our 3 companions go through, or do we need like something special?
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, so like what's the order that we go through?
Look, we'd like to take them home, but it's more important that we get to For All. And if not everybody makes it,
Well, because I assume there has to be, right, like the noble who would come had to get here somehow, right? So there has to be a way, presumably. I don't know if there was flying involved instead, but
I mean, you feel like there was probably like some actual teleportation circle magic, not just, yeah,
Yetin path.
right. So, yeah, because I mean, the circles themselves are teleportation circles, which means in theory they can be moved around. It's just that how they're moved is irrelevant to how you guys move through them. So, yes, I mean, you see like the runes on the floor and all the things that make up a permanent teleportation circle. And even though you can't read them unless you can detect magic and all that stuff, but I mean, you know, so you feel like that. Yeah, this could in theory be used at least for something, but you don't think it's like it does not appear to, I mean, because you know this from what you've looked into, there's no connection from here to the beyond outside world.
Right.
So it's either not known here or for whatever reason. But at the same time, you're right. They did arrive, so they got here somehow. But yeah, you're not sure.
again, the portal attendant didn't think it was weird that we were trying to take people from For All back to For All, so I'm sure it works fine. We'll just share our Yetin. We'll all get in a big Yetin sharing circle.
We'll all hold hands.
Yep.
Eat our Yetin. Though, haven't we found out that Eldrin and Stavid have weird
Yeah, our
non-Yetin?
Yetin's messed up anyway, so we might end up somewhere else.
Fine.
Yeah, split the party. Half Synthrintra and the other half Sin For All. It'll be fine.
Maximum efficiency.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess I probably should. She probably would recognize that, because that is a good question. Because obviously it has been done, but she would say like, "You're heading to Goldfly."
Yes.
I guess she looks back up. You're heading to Gold.
Yes, so that we can go from Goldfly to For All quickly, deliver them home, and come back.
Your non-Isalian companions are wishing to also travel to Goldfly.
Yes.
Well, they don't currently have the means. That we will need to call in someone who can get them there to Goldfly.
Oh, well, of course, of course.
But it is late.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I'm going to be able to summon anyone tonight.
We do really need to try to get there and back tonight. If there's any way to find someone who could do it.
Terrell's gonna peek around Caldron's shoulder. Talabath.
Yes.
He'll point at the documents.
I understand it's coming from Talabath, but I mean it's they're not here. It's nobody. This kind of stuff doesn't usually happen at these hours. So
He'll look at the door next to him and just knock on it really loudly.
the door.
Just knock on the door really loudly. Hello?
They don't reside here.
Katera is suggesting that we might have to go rouse them.
It's beyond my scope of responsibilities, and I don't. Again, it's late, and it's beyond my duty. You understand?
This is beyond our duty as well, but sometimes we're called to a higher duty.
I understand.
This wasn't part of our plans tonight either. Until it was. And now our need is urgent.
I understand, and I do empathize, and I know you have the documentation, but this is just not. It's not within my power.
Would it be helpful if I spoke to this individual on your behalf? I'm sure I could make them understand the urgency of our...
Well, I mean, certainly, but my post is here. This is my job.
Right, so that's why I will go, and I will get them and bring them here, and then you won't have to leave. Everything will be fine.
Well, yes, but I mean, if you just come back in the morning, I mean, they'll be here in the morning. They're usually, I mean, it's a rotation. Obviously, it's not. It's, you understand this. It's our duty. But
right.
People are on rotation, but whoever comes in the morning, they will come in. They will be here for that reason. But it's just that at this hour, we don't do this. I mean, honestly, like, even she points like to your documentation, even if you put it up like where you put it up, like even this is a little unorthodox, if you'll pardon me saying.
Right, I understand that it is. It's just that you will be very upset if we do not make this happen this evening.
I get it. I'm already a little upset because I'm uncomfortable at this moment. But it's not something that's within. It's just not within my duties. And she kind of glances over at the guards, and the guards have kind of like sat up a little bit, and they're peering in as they're listening. So I just, you come tomorrow morning. You come through, they'll be just happen to me.
So,
Charmed. Charmed again.
Hopefully.
All right.
I'll come and
This is wisdom, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Again, ignore whatever. It's the first die.
Oh, I'll take either of those.
All right.
So I understand, and I don't. The last thing I want to do is make you uncomfortable or make you feel like you're doing something against your duty. But if we don't return them home, we risk great unrest in the city, and we can't. As he's told us, we have to be the ones to prevent that and keep everyone here safe and secure by making sure we take care of this evening. I'm sure you understand that we are being put in an awkward position just as we are having to do to you, unfortunately. That's because of these nobles and what they want done the way they want things done. We have to do our best to keep them happy. You know how it is.
Okay.
So if you I can't leave my post. But if you, I believe she looks down, starts like going through some things. It looks like that Rinyan Kinrali, he is who is on this duty this week, and he lives over. She gives you an address. He's the one that can get you to what you need to be. He won't be happy if you're going to wake him. Well, not wake him. If you're just going to disturb him, he's very he works his hours, and then he tends to be a recluse.
I understand, and I'm sure it will be a disturbance, but so sure I can make him understand the gravity of this situation.
Okay. He's yeah. So yeah, I'm sure he will be as understanding as elves always are.
Oh. I'll be back with him momentarily.
Okay.
There are some of my companions will stay here just to keep you company, help you keep an eye on things. Any of them
He
want
puts himself and then points at Caldron.
Oh, sure. Yes, some companionship on the walk would be wonderful. All right.
Certainly.
Yes. We'll be back as soon as possible.
See, I'll leave. Yeah.
Yeah, going to Funyun's house. I know his name's Iranian, but I'm calling him Funyun.
Funyun.
It's not his face.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, I don't know how common knowledge it is. What's like the typical wages for a week for people around here? I don't know if we know this position in particular, but generally, what are like wages for a week?
I mean, like it's a pretty standard duty, so whatever. Like, I don't know. I have to look it up.
I'm just going into this negotiation with something.
Yeah, it's not exorbitant. I mean, certainly, it's not like she gets paid like a ton. It's
Okay.
part of her duty. She does paperwork well, so that's why she's here. You know, but
I was thinking about Funyun, but yeah.
Funyuns.
oh, Funyun.
How much money does Funyun get paid to do this portal duty?
That you wouldn't know.
Right.
You know, because you get the impression that a lot of his duty is like just being here, and then occasionally he does have to move things around, but otherwise he's kind of here. And so you wouldn't expect it was like a ton, but also if he's able to cast magics, then you're looking at
not nothing. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I got a ballpark if need be.
all right. So you guys head down the street. She watches them go, and she said, I don't like, we just can't return in the morning. I still don't understand. Yeah, she's saying the five of you that are left. So
It's like Mike might have frozen.
yeah, I lost Mike.
Am I back?
Oh,
Am I
you're
back?
back.
Yeah, I lost you. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, no, we really can't wait.
Like I just don't understand why they can't
You can't just return in the morning. First, I mean, like I said, he's usually here at dawn, ready to go. He works long hours. I mean, I just don't understand what could be so urgent for Tobaloth that he couldn't wait for 9 more hours.
9 more hours is nearly half a day.
Yes. Most of which most people are usually asleep.
Certainly, but if we could finish our business while most people are asleep, you can see the benefit to that.
I can't, but I suppose you can. I don't see what. No, it's not my place to say. I just I hope that your two friends know what they're in for.
Got it.
So you head down the street to Rinyon's,
Yep.
and you find Rinyon's place. It's a nicer place. It's not, state of the art, but it's certainly a little nicer than just like your common place. And he's, the there's like you can tell there's like a dim light on inside. Otherwise, it's you don't see any lights or anything like that.
Go knock on the door.
There's like a sliding of feet, and you see the light kind of, get closer to the door. And who knocks at my door? You hear through the door.
Good evening. Keldrin Silverwyn at your service. I'm here with my companion Kater, and just need a few moments of your time. I apologize profusely for disturbing you at this strange hour, but
How profusely? You're knocking on my door in the night.
I understand. And if it weren't a matter that we were tasked with by whatever that noble's name is, what is it? Tobola. We hadn't been Toblerone. If we hadn't been tasked with this by Lord Tolweroth himself, then we certainly wouldn't even dream of disturbing you at this hour. But he wishes us to do something for him, and so, of course, being the good citizens of Cloudforth that we are, we wish to honor his desires and see it done in the way that in the manner that he asks us to do it.
You don't hear anything for a long moment. Then you're a lock come off the door. See the door open up. You see an elf standing there.
Good evening. Sorry to bring you out of the comfort of your home.
Do I know you?
I mean, you may have heard of me, but I don't know. We may have seen each other in passing. But as I was saying, we just need but a few moments of your time. We have some folks who were brought here from very far away, all the way in Foral, by some nefarious magic, and we've been tasked with seeing them home safely. So, just making a little quick trip with them to Goldfly, so that we can use the magics there to get them back to Foral, and then we'll be back. And I assure you, we will not bother you again once our task is complete.
At this time of night.
Yes, unfortunately, that's the way Lord Toblerone wanted us to do it. Because the thing that brought them here would bring such disturbance and such strife to the citizens here if they were to know of it, that he wished for us to do it quietly and discreetly while everyone was at home at rest.
What is it worth to you?
Well, of course.
You've already taken
a
a
recompense
tonight.
And Kater reaches into a hidden pocket in his sleeve, pulls out 10 gold he had prepared, and hands the stack over to Onions. Rainen.
Yes. Oh, and I have the rest, and I pull out another 10 gold. Of course, with all respect from Lord Tolboroth, who, of course, recognized that you should be compensated for your time and for the disturbance.
And then there's coverage for the components, correct?
Oh, of course. He wasn't sure how much that was, so
50 gold pieces to cover.
Ah, yes. Here you are.
35.
Oh,
A circle.
Oh, okay.
Well, he got out 35.
Okay, yeah, I'll put the other 15 in, and yes, of course.
Jessica's gonna get it from me. She will. I'll return in a moment. He slams the door shut.
Oh, that went very well.
He comes back out. He's dressed a little better for the night.
Mm-hmm.
He has a staff. Not really a walking staff, but he carries a staff. And he brushes, closes the door and just brushes right past you and starts walking quickly up the road.
Yeah, just follow him along, stay right with him.
And he'll get back to Hawkspire, and the two guards are still milling about. And they'll just walk right past them, and the one guard is looking at both of you like, and then the other one goes, yeah, didn't you see them? They left, and now they're coming back. They obviously had to get Renyon to come. That's, I guess, but they should know that it's fine. It's fine. So clearly still charmed.
Uh-huh.
It's very soon to run out, but yeah, clearly he's still charmed.
I got an hour on this.
Yeah,
On these babies.
yeah, and all
We're
this
good.
time, yeah, but he's like, no, it's fine. So Renyon walks in, and he looks at the attendant, and she kind of casts her eyes down and says, Renyon, sir, he says, we'll talk about this later. And he glances at all of you, and he says, interesting. So I don't know you, but I know of you.
Yes, many do.
And Lord Tobaloth is sending you to return any
As you
kind
can
of
see here.
processes of elimination. These two
Yes,
to
for all.
King City.
King City.
Well, that cannot be done here, so I suppose you're wanting to get to, you said Goldfly.
Yes.
It's none of my concern. Documentation appears in order.
This would not even do it without these orders from Oberoth.
And he walks over and pulls out his, can't remember what the actual things you do with teleportation. Let's read it now. There's links, and he does the yeah, so he draws this circle kind of around like the circle that's there, and it's chalks. And there's like sigils attached to it and all this stuff. He, takes him a minute, so he uses all these whatever he's got to infuse it, and he casts a spell. You see it open up. He just nods, points.
Our many thanks. We are
Just go.
grateful more than we could ever express, and we'll be going right now. Thank you.
You step through. You guys know you really don't need to, like, you step through the same spot, but like,
Whatever.
yeah, y'all feel don't feel much, but like the others like step through. And you come out into a very similar chamber, from the other side. And as you do, there's another attendant there, and she, seems a little surprised somebody's coming through. And she looks at you and says, "Oh, late travelers, I see. Your
Yeah.
papers, please."
Yes, I'm sorry if we startled you. I know the hour is late, but we have an urgent business getting these folks home, and I'm like handing her the stuff as I explain.
Yeah,
You'll see that everything's in order, so just a quick little
Speed of
trip, and
time
then
up.
we'll return.
I rolled this heroic number right here. I just want to roll it. Yeah,
Double
there we go.
12s. Very nice.
It was. It's like the highest one I've rolled. I think I rolled above a 12 tonight. Oh, yeah. So Lord Hoboloff. Oh. Some people of note, I see.
We are becoming
It's
so.
clear. It's clear she recognizes like Toboloff, but she does not have any. Like y'all are just people. Yeah.
Yep. Wonderful.
Sent from Lord Toboloff. All right. So you're heading to. Okay. Well, do you know your way around Goldfly?
No, if you could be so kind as to impose, but brief directions where you need to go.
So it'll take a few minutes. I do need to issue you the appropriate paperwork, so
Of course.
should anyone. But yes, then you will need to, and she gives you directions, to a place that I wrote somewhere. But anyway, she gives you directions. But yeah, so it takes a few minutes, and she these will allow you to get to this place. There it is. She essentially describes like a keep. This will allow you to pass entry into the keep. I'm assuming you have your proper documentation to,
Of course.
you are able to, the means to have to do what you need.
Yes.
Save your paperwork, so when you come back, you return, you're able to return back. And yes, so she hands you your stuff back and, gets all the things in order and says, have a good evening.
Thank you. You too. And we thank you, and we extend Lord Toboloth's thanks to you as well. And we will be on our way. Good evening.
And you pass out. You don't pass out. You pass out. You pass out of the place, and you enter, the city, and just stepping out the surface, it looks kind of like Cloudforth. I mean, it's the same type of structure. You're on a floating city. You're in a floating city, floating isle. But clearly, like places look a little different. And so you start heading down the street. And it is it's dark enough now to where it's a clear night. So it's definitely like the sun is down, like we're at 9 o'clock or so. Everybody make a perception roll.
Oh, we're opposites.
Yep.
They're singularly focused right now.
I just already burned all my rolls for the night.
That is true. So Keldrin, so you pass down the street, you're heading towards this keep. You go down another street, you go down a few streets, it takes you a few minutes. And eventually like you see the keep ahead, and so you're heading towards it. And Keldrin, you happen to glance up, just looking at the night, and you see kind of the moon is like rising, and you see an object pass in front of the moon, and it's clearly big enough to like not be a bird, but it's some distance away, and you see like kind of pass like over the moon, and then like obviously you lose it as soon as it like passes by. And you see it kind of it's going, well, direction is hard here, but from where you're standing, it's like passing off to your northeast. Northeast. So you see that as that passes by as you're approaching the keep.
We might want to just hurry along into the keep and just make sure we get through the portal and get to Feral quickly. So pick up the pace just a little.
Will do.
Okay. So we get there. I think for sake of time, I don't really think I have a chance to actually beat y'all's rolls to see if it's a forgery or not. So I don't think I'm going to waste many more bad rolls tonight.
You just need a 24.
Huh?
You just need a 24.
Yeah. Even some higher level folks, I don't think I'm going to make that roll. So,
No.
you're gonna pass into a different looking place. Just because I made the map and I liked it, I'll show it to you. It looks like this blue chamber here.
This one's now all dark.
Yeah, this is a black chamber.
Well, guess you can't see it then.
Pass through it. Completely pitch black
Never
chamber.
mind. I told you it was dark.
Magical
Anyway,
darkness chamber.
Let's see. What if I just turn everything off?
Hey,
There,
oh,
whoa.
that's cool.
That's beautiful.
There,
That's really cool.
there you go. Yeah, so you would come in here at the bottom. There's an attendant there. He says, head this way. There's a desk over here. There's a person in robes sitting there. They clearly you're here for a certain reason. And this isn't the only thing in this keep, but this is where you went when you got to the keep. And they, she checks out your paperwork, sees it's all good. She says, "Okay, this will take a moment or two," and then you follow her. You see there's it was like a rather a little bit of an older soldier kind of walking around. Sees you approaching, but with her, and just kind of nods at her and continues making the rounds. She takes you into this middle chamber where there's these guards. There's another attendant over here. He sees her walk in. He, backs up, like into the hallway, still watching. And she goes over and, she does ask for payment.
Linnaeus.
Bag, checks it, takes it over, brings out all the chalks and things. She chalks the teleportation circle. And, it opens up right there in the middle, that center circle. And, she Yep. And then Nick is step through, and
Go.
we're in a new place. We're back to For All.
Brand new place.
A brand new
place.
place.
I mean,
We'll stop there for the night.
300 years, it's new still.
Do what?
If it's been 300 years, it's new.
Yeah.
It's new.
Everything there is new, probably.
Yeah.
It is new. And that's where we'll stop.
All right.
Cool.
We've returned to For All, everyone, if you've watched our previous campaigns. So, thanks for hanging out. That was, that was some big stuff going on tonight. So, we'll be back soon. I don't know if we'll be back next week with something else. Maybe some Scion or something next week. I don't know. And then some more D&D sometime soon. So, whenever that is, we'll see you then. Good night, everybody.
Night.